before we went for the break, I kind of caught you short. So just quickly
wrap it up. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. INEC all of a sudden, magically now, seems to dance to a different reggae that is different from what the Constitution is saying. Because this sudden manufacturing of inconclusiveness in Osun State is a concern to most of us, to myself as a Nigerian, because I feel that if INEC adopted the strategy in Kogi, adopted the strategy in Ekiti State, and all of a sudden now in Osun State, they are adopting a different strategy, now it questions the integrity of that commission. Actually, when you have had incidences also of INEC officials who are now being caught trying to manipulate the electoral process and the result of that election. So, to a large extent, Nigeria should be worried that is INEC truly really independent as a commission to conduct election in this country.
What change would you want to see when they're holding the inconclusive? To conclude the elections.
Basically, if there's a change that we want to see, I want to see a more efficient INEC. I want to see a smarter and well-organized INEC. Having at the back of our minds that there's a Nigeria first before any party or any political affiliation. Because as of today, as at 2 p.m. today, it was so obvious. The result was evident in our faces. Whoever was going to win was there. Now, having a twist over a 3,689, I think I'm right.
Votes. Over 3,000.
Over 3,000. Having a twist over that tends to speak a different tune. It tells a different story. The gimmick between the period of silence of over 1 hour and when they came back and looking like there was a back and forth and somebody, even the returning officer, at one point, I felt it was under duress. To me personally, I felt he was speaking under duress.
I think so too.
He didn't sound so sure of himself. I saw a man who was being pressured to take a decision.
Well, it's still conjecture.
But one thing is sacrosanct.
Yeah.
That there will be a winner at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So at whatever day that is announced, there will be a rerun, and yes, it's not going to be a major one. So let's see whatever will play out.
Let's wait and see. But let me just quickly get to hear from Mukhtar. I mean, so they are alleging that, first and foremost that Mukhtar, if you can hear me, that there was some form of pressure piling on the electoral umpire who.
No. Let me say this. Firstly, again, by the law of the land, every elector of discretion as to whether he or she is going to declare an election concluded or inconclusive. So what an electoral officer in Kogi does is not binding on what the resident electoral commissioner in Aduna or in Cross River does. All of them are independent during the time of the election. That's number one. Number two, in any normal democracy, a margin of error of 354 votes out of 50,000 votes for the two leading candidates is too small for it to just be taken for granted, especially when you have wards where over 3,000, close to 4,000 votes were invalidated because the elections were cancelled. INEC is not saying that the entire Osun State is going to have a rerun. No one is saying that. INEC is not even saying that half of Osun State is having a rerun. It's just saying that those areas where votes were cancelled because the elections were cancelled due to whatever irregularity, that those areas are going to have a rerun, which is normal, which is acceptable, which is desirable.
All right, Mukhtar, I have to say thank you. I mean, I can see you're somewhere. I'm on an island enjoying your vacation, but then thanks for taking out time and joining us on the program today. You joined us from Tenerife in Spain. Victor Bamshaye, thanks as well for joining us. You joined from Lviv in Ukraine. Thank you also for being a part of the program today. Well, guys, I have to say thank you as well for joining us today on the program. I mean, we could have gone on and on and on, but I guess we'll have to leave the rest of the discussion for another day. Thanks once again. Ade Koya Boladale, political scientist, as well as a member of APC, as well as Ayobami Ladipo, journalist. Thanks as well for joining us on the program. And we'll be back with the most videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
The call by presidential hopeful Omoyele Sowore to have a debate with other presidential candidates begins this week's most viewed videos in 5th place.
Plus three years of APC. The alternative is here. That is what we should be debating. We should be talking about the fresh ideas that we're bringing on the table to grow electricity, infrastructure, power, to stop corruption completely, not the type of anti-corruption war that APC is fighting where we replace some thieves, the old thieves with new thieves. Please, let's have that conversation. And if you want to be more serious, maybe you should start bringing these presidential candidates to debate us. Buhari should be brought out. The media should force them out of hiding. Let them come and debate the future of Nigeria. Nigerian young people have come to a conclusion where they have presented alternatives, and these alternatives are going to kick out the old guards in 2019.
Yeah, I have here with me two people who know their onions when it comes to fashion and style. And we're going to try and dissect some of what we saw on the red carpet and on social media on our TV screen.
It is followed in 4th by that of a review of what celebrities wore to the African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards 2018, which held in Lagos, Nigeria.
It was interesting. I was talking on Twitter today that it's good to know what the industry is worth at the weekend. Because I was out yesterday throughout the day at the event, and I saw so many things. And the hotel rooms, you know, someone sent me a message and she spent close to half a million how much these things are worth now. It's crazy how much
the position is that we will not defile that office because it's an office we also hope that Atiku will occupy.
Third position is taken by a claim made by a supporter of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar that the Adamawa-born politician is what Nigerians are waiting for.
Atiku is the man that the nation is waiting for.
How?
The country, listen, there are for 72, the president is 76. The country has a few issues.
One of those who have criticized.
The country has a few issues it has to deal with urgently.
I believe I speak for every member of this campaign committee that we shall do our very best and leave no stone unturned.
The PDP appointing Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki as the PDP appoints Saraki to head National Campaign Committee takes the second spot.
And we need to establish our foothold in the Southwest. And this election in Osun is the last one before the general election. And we must reestablish our foothold in the Southwest because the PDP has been a party well grounded in the Southwest, and we must reconnect with the people and ensure that we do that.
And the most viewed video in the past week is that of former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Godwill Akpabio, giving his reason for leaving the opposition, PDP.
Well, for me, I think it was very sudden, the decision to move from the People's Democratic Party, where I was one of the chieftains, to the All Progressive Congress. It has generated a lot of controversy yes, in the polity. But the reality is that I move in the national interest. I move as a result of personal convictions. And I moved in order to also contribute my quota towards serving democracy in Nigeria.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. However, now that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has fixed September the 27th for the rerun election, politicians have no choice but to go back to the drawing board, figure out which horse to trade with so as to boost their chances of having the constitutional right to lead the people of Osun State for the next 4 years. And we draw the curtains on this note, but continue the conversation via the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now.